views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Hey, everybody. Super. What? I'm adjusting. I'll take another hit in here so I can hear myself. Hey, everybody, welcome to the doctor. That was me. Do you hear that? That's me giving my special signal to Benny to tap on my headset because this is live radio, just so you know. It really is live. And it's like we're in like a studio, and you can watch it on the camera somewhere. KKNW website, AM KKNW.
1150, KKNW.com.
There you go. And you can watch us because what's going on here is like the real deal. It's actually real. And we've been doing the real deal for a long time now, 13 years. And I love it. But sometimes, you know, you have to make the switch. I don't know how much you all know about radio, but we're going to actually have a listener appreciation each month. We're going to be doing a little shtick, a little contest. And we're going to have our listeners write some things in. And we're going to be able to open up the doors if you live in Western Washington or can get here. We're also going to do the same on the other coast, East Coast, WBLQ. Chris doesn't know it yet. So, Chris, if you're listening, this is a new idea.
Surprise.
Surprise, yay! And then we're going to be able to have a listener come in and bring you in for an hour and feature you and a little bit about your life and what you've actually written to us to get you in this place. And that's what we love. And so that's something we did as part of the Holistic Makeover. And by the way, we are bringing back the Holistic Makeover. You know, we had to get the websites done, the membership rebuilt, all of those things done to be able to do the things that you guys know and love. Today, we've got a great lineup for all of you, a great, great lineup. You know, integrate, reconnecting body, mind, spirit. I have an amazing guest joining me here today on the show. Somebody that has dedicated her life to helping other people in ways that were beyond the beyond. And let me just say this. I'm so thrilled and excited to have her here. Special mystery guest joining us here today.
I'm Dawn Spiegelberg of BODYWISE Bodywork, and I resolve chronic and acute pain.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And Dawn, for those of you out there, has an interesting journey and an experience and discovered something about pain that many of us may or may not know. And so today's conversation with Dawn is going to be about the journey. You know, what is it about our lives that we discover? What is it that integrate really has come to mean? And why is it that we hear body, mind, spirit over and over and over again, and sometimes, well, let me speak for myself, can be completely clueless on the power in the integration of that? What I love about that is, you know, many people talk about the balance. I really have not found balance in body, mind, spirit. I really have found more of an integration. And so it's fascinating when I hear people talk about balance because balance sometimes doesn't mean harmony. So today what's going to happen is, you know, Dawn's going to take us on this journey. You know, what is physical pain? Why does it show up? Where does it show up? Is there anything that we can do to prevent it from showing up? And when it does show up, how does it get resolved? For many of you out there, BODYWISEBodywork.com is where you're going to be able to go, BODYWISEBODYWORK.com, to find out more about Dawn. But today's show is exciting. We'll be opening up phone lines, and we've got a number of things to talk about in terms of what Dawn is doing to help everybody reconnect and regenerate their lives. Dawn, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Pat. This is very exciting today.
It's interesting. I like the way you introduced yourself. When you introduced yourself, what is it about saying who you are and what you do? What is the energy of that for you? What does it come to mean for you in this day and time in your life?
It's life purpose. It's what I've been brought here to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when people say, oh, what do you do to relax and regenerate yourself? For me, it's working, because every time I work, every time I help someone integrate their body, their mind, and their spirit, that's fulfilling my purpose.
It's interesting we use the word work. I had a big conversation with someone not too long ago about this, and I realized that I do refer, like you do, to what we do as work, but we are really in service now. I remember what work was like, what real work, like, oh, I got to go to work. Now I have a different energy around it. It's like, yeah, we have to refer to it as work because our friends would think we lost our mind. Right. So you ever try on one of your friends, oh, you know what? I'm not going to work today. I'm going to service.
Exactly.
Oh.
It should be easy. It should be fluid. We should enjoy doing it.
Exactly.
It makes a difference.
So tell me a little bit about this pain. You know some of the latest statistics on pain, right? Off the charts. Through the roof. Every age. Men and women, but guess what? Men don't really say that they're in pain, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And pain really is a nerve impulse going to your head, and then your head has to translate that nerve impulse. So it could be a temperature stimulus, it could be a pressure stimulus, it could be damage, nociceptor stimulation. Right? And really, pain is just interpreted by the brain, just like signals from your eye are interpreted by the brain. Nerve impulses from your nose, nerve impulses from your mouth and taste buds. Mm-hmm. They all have to be interpreted by your brain. And when you are not integrated, when your body and your mind and your spirit are not in coherence and not working together, it's confusing.
Well, let's talk about this, because when we say we don't feel well and we're in pain, we go to the body.
Right.
Oh, it's a body issue.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But our tissues are more than a body issue, right? They resolve and absorb all the emotional stuff that goes on in our lives, yes. Right? And, sometimes we can go body, mind, but we leave spirit out. And actually, it should be spirit, right? Spirit, mind, body. I think the order of this, we need to switch that up.
Well, we can switch it up. I use body, mind, spirit because I use the body as a gateway. There are a lot of people who use the spirit as a gateway, but we can't deny any of them.
No.
They all have to work together. So if you just focus on the spirit, then your body gets left out, and then your spirit doesn't have a house to occupy.
And, mind is always wondering, why am I in the middle?
Exactly. Exactly. And for those psychologists
right.
and therapists out
right.
there, they're constantly focusing on the mind.
Oh, totally.
And the spirit gets left behind, and the body is sometimes left in denial, mm-hmm. right? But what about me? What about me?
It's really fascinating because the world of psychology is changing. Someone said to me, my degree is a few years old now, but my focus in psychology was in cognitive psychology. Mm. And somebody asked me, why are you wasting your time? Because even 10 years ago, we weren't really there about looking at psychology from a mind. We were so in the behavioral aspect of psychology. We were so in the emotional sides of psychology, or the clinician part of psychology. But we weren't really willing to look at the mind. But a few things have changed. One of the things I think has changed is this idea of energy.
Mm.
How does energy, in the way we're talking about it now, fit into this integration conversation?
I'm so excited you asked because I'm teaching a class currently called Body Integration, and it's bringing the science, it's bringing the physics of what scientists know and understand into terms that actually describe spirituality and the body-mind-spirit connection. So, for example, when scientists talk about polarity, they're talking about positive electrons, negative electrons, and when you have a balance of both, then you have stability. And we all know about stability. They talk about home-work balance, right?
Right.
Life, work, home balance. And what does that mean? It's stability.
Right.
And if you look at it from a molecular point of view, it's an equal number of protons and an equal number of electrons, except that people don't realize science is describing everyday living.
Right.
And what's fun is scientists don't know what they're looking at. You know, they describe it as electrons and protons. But what we understand is that as above, so below, as is outside, so is inside. So what's true on a molecular basis is also true in our lives. So if we sit in the place of, say, for example, a nucleus in an atom, and we look outside ourselves and only see that, we're surrounded by negative electrons. Negativity. The world is negative. The news is negative. Our friends are negative. Everything is negative. If we step outside and remember our true selves, then we look at the whole of it. So it's not just an atom, it's energy. We are energy. And we forget because we get deep inside and narrow in our vision.
Right. You know, it's fascinating about it. I mean, you know, once upon a time, a couple of years ago, and we're going to go to break. We can talk about this when we come back. Once upon a time, Dr. Oz made an amazing discovery. I say this like tongue in cheek, right? He said, energy medicine is the next frontier. Now, if you talk to people like you, or you talk to people like Donna Eden, or you talk to people that have been on this planet for a really long time saying, no, it is the now frontier. When we come back, I want to talk with you, Dawn, about what body integration is, but also more importantly, I want to make sure people understand the class that you're getting ready to teach, what it is, you know, or the work that you're getting ready to have. You have a couple of events here, how they can find out more about them. But most importantly, I think it's important for people to know what this work is about, whether it's working with you one-on-one, taking a class, a group setting. What is it that you do that substantiates what that body integration is? We got a lot to share. And also, we are taking your calls, 1-800-930-2819. We're going to take a short break. We have got a lot coming your way. Integrate, reconnect body, mind, spirit. Dawn is here today. When we come back, we'll give you lots of information. Don't let your pain be the bane of your existence. 1-800-930-2819. We'll be right back.
Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
My dream is to end homelessness.
My passion is living a green life.
My dream is to end poverty.
My passion is volunteering.
My passion is making a difference.
My dream is to cure Lyme disease.
My passion is rebuilding communities.
My passion is helping those in need.
My passion is caring for the elderly.
My dream is to find a cure for cancer.
My dream is to leave a better world for my children.
We all have that special passion, that lifelong dream that drives us to live our lives with meaning and to create a better world. No matter what drives you, we can all make an impact. Dr. Pat Basili is helping others make their dreams come true, so we can all help make our world a better world.
To learn more about how Dr. Pat is building a community of sharing hope, strength, funds, knowledge, and information, visit abetterworldcrowdfunding.com today. That's abetterworldcrowdfunding.com.
Tune Tune in to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fontaine on TransformationTalkRadio.com and get ready to stir up your passions, remove your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Speaker, teacher, channel, clairvoyant, Leslie Fontaine is a transformation catalyst who channels a powerful energy from source to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com for show dates and times and LeslieFontaine.com to say yes to explosive abundance.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to Dr. Pat Show, Talk Radio to Thrive By. We're so great. So great to have Dawn here joining us here today. In a few minutes, we're going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to tell you a little bit about, well, actually, Dawn's going to tell you a bit about why we're going to do that. But before we jump into that, I want to make sure that everybody knows what the show is today. For those of you out there, you know me as Dr. Pat, and if you want to find out more about us, you can go to Facebook, The Dr. Pat Show, Twitter, The Dr. Pat Show. My very special guest today is
Dawn Spiegelberg of BODYWISE Bodywork, and I resolve chronic and acute pain.
Now, let's talk about how folks can find out more about your work, but also you've got something coming up here in July that I think folks should know about.
I'm very excited to talk about body integration because we talk about body integration. We say, oh, let's get our mind and our body and our spirit working together. But how do we do that? I have a class that I'm presenting that shows you exactly how to do that step by step by step. And the people who have experienced that class are in a place that they never expected they could be in their lives because they're doing it. They're feeling it. They've been to therapy. They've been to the yoga, Pilates. They've done meditation. They've done everything they can. And there are still things that are unresolved in their lives. And this body integration integrates it.
Yeah. This is really now the now frontier of things. It's kind of like interesting to be talking about this, Dawn, because for the most part, it's existed. It's been with us forever.
It's ancient.
It's ancient.
Yes.
And, ancient people didn't have a pharmacy. Well, they had some kind of thing they did, but they didn't really have a pharmacy that they could go to and say, give me a prescription.
Well, they had the medicine man.
They had the
right?
medicine man.
Yeah.
But the medicine man did more than just mix medicine. Anybody that has ever seen a shaman or has ever even read about how medicine men and women worked, it is a ritual. Holy cow.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And what's different about it, Dr. Pat, is they looked at the person as a whole first.
Yeah.
And then addressed any symptom. And science has come along, but the way they've studied bodies and systems is by taking them apart. And when you take things apart, you don't see how the whole thing works together.
No kidding, right? Now, we are going to open up the phone lines. I would love, as you and I continue to talk about this, I would love for you to tell our listeners what kinds of, let's just call them readings for practicality. What kind of readings live on air will you do with people? Because today's show is about integrating, reconnecting, and it is about pain. So tell us a little bit about how we're going to be able to work with folks today that get to call in.
people who need my service the most are people who have been to doctors because their ankle hurts, their shoulder hurts. There's something in their musculoskeletal system that they can't get resolution about, and they don't necessarily want to take lots of drugs. They don't necessarily want to revert to surgeries to fix the problem, because essentially problems arise over time. And when we don't pay attention to the symptoms and the messages from the body starts speaking louder and louder, and then it becomes unbearable. Unfortunately, all disease, all pain is merely due to an imbalance. Something is not in balance. And my specialty is pinpointing that imbalance, because once you find the actual cause of the symptom, then the symptom can resolve, because the body has the desire to be whole and healthy and complete.
And I want to say that, we want to be able to provide you with some solutions today. And by the way, it is not just a solution for the show, but those of you that do call in and get to work with Dawn for a little bit here today, make sure you don't hang up, because we want to get your information, because Dawn is going to give you an extended consultation. Wow. This is going to be cool. So you all know the number, but many of you don't. And, some of you, we're finding out we're getting more and more new folks. So you guys have sent me emails now saying, give out your number. And you know what? One of you is calling me DRP. One of you is so right. I need to say it slower. Here we go. 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. We're taking your calls to work with Dawn right here, right now, and that will put you right in the link to get an extended consultation with her. The other thing is, if you have questions, right, go to thedrpatshow.com or transformationtalkradio.com, and on the right-hand side, there's a little feedback box right there. I think it's still there. We're changing our website again. Just type your question in, and we'll get you on air. 1-800-930-2819 if you want to get some help with what's going on in your body. Let's talk a little bit about body integration. Some people say, and I've been saving this for you, especially for you, Dawn. Some people believe that when we're in the healing process, that it has to get worse before it gets better. You know that story? I'm working with you now. Expect it to get worse before it gets better. And then the minute they say that, people are like, "Man, I'm not coming back here." Can you tell me where that idea came from, and does it apply sometimes?
Really, that's a great question, and I ask, why can't people heal on their own? Every single body, mind, spirit has all the tools it needs to be whole, healthy, and complete. So why aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And when someone says, it must get worse before it gets better, often what's happening is it has to get worse for them to pay attention. They have to, I hate using the word surrender, but they have to realize that there's something more at work. Their body did not betray them. Their body is trying to get their attention. They've been ignoring it for way too long.
Mm.
So what does it take to get someone's attention?
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a 2x4 over the head.
Yeah, that's me. And actually, I'm trying to reconcile that and change that. That usually has been the story of my life, where, spirit has been, just lightly, ever so lightly, a feather right on the cheek, trying to get my attention.
It's quiet.
And I blow it off.
It's quiet.
It's quiet. And it's so quiet that we don't even have to ask for it. It's simply a matter of what else is possible here? What am I aware of today? And it's instantaneous. How does that work with you? How does that work with the integration? Tell me about the integration process.
Let me tell you, Pat, it's really amazing. I went through a healing process recently that was a gift.
Yeah, me too.
I was slicing an avocado, and the knife cut my hand. My hands are my work.
Wow.
So I'm always very careful. And I had a cut that was so deep that I required 4 stitches. And instead of my heart and my mind and my body saying, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have 5 clients in the next 48 hours, and I've just sliced open my hand, right?
Wow.
I looked at it as a learning experience. And it's so different when you take a perspective that isn't typical. Several things I learned from that. Number 1, the body has a voice. After I cut my finger with a knife, I was sitting next to my son at dinner, and he picked up his knife, and I heard my body speak, beware the knife. I was cutting an avocado when I sliced myself. The next day I walked through a grocery store, a whole bin of avocados. My body said, beware the avocados. These are messages from the body.
Wow.
So not only does our spirit speak quietly, our body also speaks, and we don't listen. Pain is speaking.
Right.
Experience speaks through our body. And instead of being afraid of all knives now because I cut myself, instead of avoiding avocados, right, all of these seemingly irrational things, I listened to my body and I said, oh, your focus is on survival. I now understand. You want to avoid what happened to injure it, which was a knife and an avocado.
Oh, right.
So now my awareness has changed. Now my mind is listening to the messages from my body, and my spirit is working to heal my body. And now we all together are conscientious of being around knives. We're not blaming the avocado for the incident. And not only that, but my body, because I know and trust my body to heal itself, I learned that when we integrate, when my mind and my spirit was supporting my body in healing the cut, it was like an advanced, energetic healing because I felt no pain. It knit itself together.
Well, no pain and no blame.
That's right.
No pain, no guilt, no shame, no blame.
Yes.
These are all distractions from healing, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And it's when our mind gets focused on the problem and judges it.
Right.
That's what creates the unresolved emotions, the unresolved pain, the unresolved karma in our spirit that makes it difficult for us to move on and to be whole and healthy and complete. So the not blaming, in physics terms, they call it neutrality. So variance happens. There's constant energy moving in the universe. There's constant energy moving in our lives, which means we get bombarded with energy. We get a flat tire. We're out of milk. Our kid falls down and hurts himself. All of these things are constantly changing in our lives. And we must maintain neutrality, which means we do not judge it as good and we do not judge it as bad.
Yeah. It's not good and it's not bad. It just is.
It just is.
Yeah.
And in physics,
brilliant.
There is a law that says in low energy systems, when something happens, the electrons and the neutrons and protons, they stay bound, infinitely bound. When you add energy, it changes. And energy is happening all the time. And changes are not bad. Changes are not good. They just are.
You know, I want to, talk a bit about this idea of stepping into the healing zone, right? When we come back, we'll go to the phones. We'll talk about a little bit about what it's like to work with you, the consultation. We have a fabulous, fabulous caller. And we'll take our caller and we will go from there. We are having a great time. Dawn, one more time before we go to break. What's the website?
BODYWISEBODYWORK.com.
Let's take a short break, everybody. When we come back, we're on the phones. For those of you that want to join in, 1-800-930-2819. And during the break, I will go look up the instant messages. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Put your makeup on, get your nails done, curl your hair, run the extra mile, keep it slim so they like you.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Ronnie DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Ronnie DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Ronnie DeLuce at info@ronniedeluceonradio.com and visit mvholisticretreat.com. Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Are you ready to thread your life with intuition? Intuit Apparel can help you do just that. This is not just about a piece of clothing. This is about a movement, an awakening, and staying centered in life. Your life. Intuitive and host of the radio show Get Into It, Lynn Brown, was given this image with the intention of a clothing line designed to represent the essence of life itself. Visit intuitapparel.com now and wear your intuition with pride.
Are you feeling stressed, in pain, disconnected, worried about aging? Corrective alignment and integration therapy restores health. Move your body, which frees your mind and elevates your spirit. BODYWISE Bodywork LLC provides the tools you need to create the change you've been waiting for. Start living a fully present and integrated life. Book your 15-minute consultation online at www.bodywisebodywork.com. BODYWISE Bodywork LLC, because it's the only body you've got.
If you're one of the millions of Americans suffering from anxiety, you probably know how powerless and out of control this emotion can make you feel. This is why it is so important to remember that anxiety is created by your mind, which means that you can learn to use your mind to uncreate it. Hello, my name is Dr. Friedman Schaub. My award-winning book, The Fear and Anxiety Solution, provides you with a step-by-step breakthrough process to understand and resolve the root causes of your anxiety and build a solid foundation of confidence and inner peace. If you're ready to take your power back, visit thefearandanxietysolution.com. That's thefearandanxietysolution.com, or call 866-903-6463. That's 866-903-MIND.
Called the Oprah of radio by her listeners, award-winning host Dr. Pat Baccili is blowing the doors off of traditional talk radio. Get ready for an energizing delivery and powerful interviews with leaders in the field of human potential. Dr. Pat's fresh, new perspective on living life full out has catapulted her show to the top of talk radio. Tune in and Dr. Pat will help you thrive instead of merely survive. Visit thedrpatshow.com. That's THEDRPatshow.com for listening times in your area.
Do they like you? Get your sexy on, don't be shy, girl, take it off. This is what you want, to belong, so they like you. Do you like you? You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to give it all.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Dr. Pat.
I'm Dawn Spiegelberg of BODYWISE Bodywork.
And we are taking your calls, 1-800-930-2819. But before we go right to the phones, Dawn, one more time, give out the website and also let folks know a little bit about what the consultations are about.
BODYWISEBodywork.com is the website, and a consultation is to hear about your pain that hasn't resolved. The pain in your knee, the pain in your ankle, your hip, your shoulder, and we discover the cause that's contributing to the symptoms so that you can resolve that problem and integrate your body, mind, and spirit.
Awesome. Mr. Benny, let's go to the phones. Who do we have?
Margot from Bellevue, welcome to the show.
Hi, Margot. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
How can we help you today? Dawn is going to take over from here, okay?
Hi, Dawn. Ever since I was, can remember, very little girl, I've had issues, bronchitis a lot of sinus issues, and I was wondering what I could do for that.
What have you been doing so far, Margot?
Well, I changed my diet, and that helped a lot. I took wheat out, dairy, gluten-free, of course, and removed allergens from the home.
Wonderful. So, Margot, have you ever read a book called The Healing Code?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
The Healing Code talks about all disease being caused by a certain level of stress in our lives. And they measure stress using heart variability, right? So the question is, what was happening in your childhood? What stressors were you trying to cope with that your body then developed these allergies? Because when you find and discover the cause, then you can continue to work to resolve it.
Do you think it's possible that I came in with allergies?
You mean that you came into the world with allergies?
Uh-huh.
So this is a beautiful question.
It is.
Because when you're in the womb, when you are in your mother's body, your mother is determining and actually telling you what life will be like after your birth. So if she's under a lot of stress, you're feeling that stress. What emotions she experiences, you also feel. So your education is being developed from conception about what you can expect in the outside world.
Does that make sense to you? Huh? What do you think about
sense.
that? Yeah?
Now, Margot, there's another piece.
And my mom was very stressed.
Oh. So the question is, can you separate yourself from what you experienced from your mother? Because as an infant in utero, you don't always understand that what you're experiencing is not your stuff. There's also
That's beautiful.
Yeah, there's also the ancestral component. You have DNA from both your parents. That DNA has been affected by the life experience, right? Through all the generations.
Right. Yep. Well, I will work on that.
Wonderful. And how will you work on that? Will you share with me what your ideas are?
Probably through meditation at first. Just going into the parts of my body and talking to it and asking. Going into my lungs. Because I have never done that. I've never gone in and asked, what's wrong? What do you need?
Wonderful. I'd like to share one other thing with you, Margot,
Wow,
and that is that the lungs surround the heart, and the heart is what feels. And if we have unresolved feelings, they get lodged in the lungs and we hold it there. So during your meditation, breathe out the grief of holding all of this for so long. Breathe in the love you have for yourself. And let your heart's feelings flow through your lungs.
Okay. That's really, really good. Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Margot.
Stay on the line, and I want to get some information for you so we can pass it on to Dawn here so she can give you a consultation. How's that sound?
That would be great.
Awesome.
I'd love to follow up with you, Margot.
Great. Don't just hang up just yet, okay? Benny is going to chat with you. How beautiful was that?
Wonderful.
And, you know, what is so fascinating about it is really asking the question, am I ready, willing, and able to heal? I know that it's a silly question for myself, but it's one that was presented to me by an energy worker. And what year was that? I think it was like 2006. And the question really was, what part of this dis-ease is really benefiting me, Pat?
Yes.
You know, what part of this is benefiting me? And, you know, at the time I was completely insulted. And then I worked with the individual. And I was able to find multiple benefits of it or for it. Have you found that?
You know, Dr. Pat, a question very much like that was asked me.
Yeah.
Which is what led me to really understand wholly what my life purpose was.
Wow.
And the question was, how does that serve you?
Ooh. Yeah, same idea.
Same idea. How does it serve you? How is this pain serving you? And I asked that question of myself when I cut my finger. I'm a body worker. My hands are my work in my life. Why would I cut myself and require 4 stitches? I asked, how does this serve me? Not, this is bad. How am I going to work? Not, oh my God, I've done this terrible thing. Now what? I asked, how is this serving me? And it was an amazing experience where I was able to put into practice what I believe in my heart and my body and my mind, which is we have the ability to heal. We have all the tools we need. Sometimes we just need a little guidance. We just need a little help and direction.
Yeah, I love that. We're going to take a short break because this is all part of what you're doing to help us understand this. When we come back, we're going to talk with Dawn a bit more about, what we're going to learn in the body integration, this work that she does and works with groups. Not only can you work with Dawn directly one-on-one, but what can you learn about learning how to heal oneself? What does it take from a body, mind, and spirit approach to something? And have you ever asked the question, what has spirit got to do with it? Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
What if there was no right or wrong way to be a great parent? Join Access Consciousness Facilitator Glenna Rice as she and Dr. Pat invite you to be the questionable parents you truly are and empower you to know and give the awareness required to create ease and joy with your children. Join Dr. Pat and Glenna as they focus on parenting for the modern family. Tune in every month to the Dr. Pat Show on air and online at transformationtalkradio.com.
Wondering how to play the game of life and actually win? Stop wondering and start willing the game of life with the unique and incomparable Lynn Brown. As an intuitive healer and experienced business manager, Lynn can help you live your life to its full potential. To learn more about Lynn, visit ruintuit.com. That's the letter R, letter U, intuit.com.
What does a Dentist of the Year get? A little plaque. Welcome to Smile Big, where we offer cosmetic, restorative, and preventative dentistry. Dr. James Rosenwald and Dr. Susan Abdenor work hard every day for their clients to be happy to smile with the latest equipment for complete smile restoration for anyone. The sooner you call, the sooner they can help. Call 425-454-4040 or email scheduling@smilebig.com. You can even visit our website at smilebig.com.
How confident do you feel about your retirement? Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeff Packman about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. Together, you and Jeff can break down retirement planning step by step to get to the real answers you need. Call Jeff Packman, financial advisor, today at 425-453-0272. Office is located at 601 108th Avenue Northeast, Suite 1800 in Bellevue, Washington, 98004. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member of FINRA and SIPC.
Tired of traditional talk? People pontificating about this or that, the left or the right. Sometimes the truth is just all lost in the noise. Tune in each week to Straight Talk with Chuck Gallagher on TransformationTalkRadio.com, Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, as nationally known guests talk about what's important to you, your life, your concerns, and your success. Tune in and turn on to Straight Talk with Chuck Gallagher. Visit ChuckGallagher.com for more information.
You must try to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do?
I got to see her on that tour. Mm-hmm. I got to see the Tina on the tour.
No pictures? Or are those personal pictures?
It was so old.
You and Tina
it was so long ago. I don't even think our phones took pictures.
Oh, come
then.
on. You got some
I don't
pictures
think we had a picture.
So Polaroids? Is that too far back?
It was so... Thank you, Benny. Yeah, got me on that. Woo. Got me on that.
Just saying.
The biggest question for Tina Turner, is she going to show up in any of the now upcoming Mad Max movies?
Yeah, I want to see
That's the question.
Those. They did a lot of those real stunts. Those are real stunts, not the whole
real stunts.
CGI stuff. It's real stuff.
Those are real people. That's why
to.
Charlize is thinking, I need to go see Dawn to heal my body
She's
from
so
that
dreamy.
role. I know. So welcome back, everyone. What a great conversation, Dawn. I've saved spirit for the end.
Ah.
You know, because the question really is, and that's why Benny played that, is what spirit got to do with that? You know, there was a study that was done not too long ago, and they did a poll across the country. And what they pointed to was the fact that those folks, us folks here in the Seattle area, we were the least religious people on the planet, but we were, I think, number one for spirituality.
That's right.
And, of course, that was looked like, oh, that's like a downside. But, you know, when we think about it, spiritual or spirit is all-encompassing. That's why we refer to it as that. It's not a one-size-fits-all, but you got to ask the question, what the heck does it got to do with healing?
Of course, everything. And, you know, what are your belief systems? Do you believe we have a spirit or not, right? And so let's not argue the point. Let's just assume that we have a spirit. And that spirit has to have a place to live. And that's the consciousness that we as human beings bring to the earth. We bring it to the world, right? How many animals are using cell phones these days, right? We have the ability to dream big, and bring better things to the world. We also have the ability to destroy the world, right? So what does that say about what people use their spirits to do and to accomplish? I want to mention coherence.
Go ahead. That's perfect.
When you're in a coherent state, your thoughts and emotions are balanced, and you experience ease and inner harmony. There's something called the Global Peace Project. The Global Peace Project teaches individuals how to have and sustain coherence around peace. And during those moments when these people focused on feeling the feeling of peace, there was a decrease in global terrorism by 72%. In Washington, D.C., there was a decrease.
That's a big number. Say it again.
Number.
It's a huge number. As a matter of fact, whenever you get a 72% number in any statistic, there's usually a question mark about it. But I know the study that you did. That is a huge number, by the way. Huge.
And not only is that a huge number, but they've actually calculated how many people it requires to feel the feelings of peace in order to affect a population. And this is the formula. Take the population, square root of 1% of that population is all it takes to establish peace and to decrease the terrorism and violent crimes within that population. So the question is, why do we still live in pain and suffering and with violence and in a world full of war? The reason is because we believe we have to live our lives, then stop and do something healthy or think about peace, and then we go back to living our lives. And that's the wrong answer. We need to live peace. We need to live in coherence, live the feelings of health, live the feelings of peace, live the feelings of gratitude. It's not separate from our lives. And that's the importance of the spirit. That's what the spirit brings to us, the mind and the body.
Some people say that that in the body, mind, spirit actually is the overarching theme. Some people would say that the whole idea of spirituality and spiritual practice or focus has to do with putting our connection to source energy first and foremost, meaning put it in the front lines. There are some people that even go as far to say that if I do that, and that's where I put my focus, that I will be divinely guided. How does spirit divinely guide people in the healing process? Or spiritual practice, should I say?
Sure. You know, Dr. Pat, we have these three things, body, mind, and spirit, all of them. And I don't know that we need to focus on one more than the other, except I do know that some people are better at focusing on one, and they can use that as a gateway. I have friends who are spiritual healers, and they're brilliant. They do that and focus on the spirituality, and that's the gateway into helping the people they reach out to. I'm a body worker.
Right.
I use the body as the gateway to help people integrate their spirit. I know some great psychologists and great therapists who use the mind to help integrate someone's body and spirit together. We need all of them. We need all people, because some things we find the truth from one place, we'll find a different truth from somewhere else. And the beauty of the body integration class that I'm teaching is that the principles that people are learning, they're saying, oh, this is a theme that cropped up from my church. Oh, this is a theme that I heard in the book, that I read in the book that I happened to pick up off the shelf. This is something I heard on the radio. They were talking about the same thing. We get information, we get healing, we get higher purpose and living a better life through many different avenues.
It's really fascinating when we discover that. And, you know, I want to ask you this last question. We haven't talked about this, and it's intuition. And, you know, I think when Dr. Oz made his great announcement about, you know, energy medicine being the next frontier, he didn't really address what that means. What is the medicine part of energy medicine? And so the question that didn't get asked today, and we have about 2 minutes to answer it, is where does intuition come in or not?
That's a great question. I work from some very basic principles, and the first one is the body has the desire to be whole and healthy and complete. And we know it's true because if we cut ourselves, do we have to think about clotting that blood? No, the body does it. Do we have to think about creating scar tissue in the skin? No, our body does it. If you've been sitting for a while and you walk up a flight of stairs, does your heart rate increase and does your respiration increase to accommodate the need? Yes. Intuition comes in as a support for what already exists. Margot was a perfect example of this.
Yeah, thank you, Margot.
She's on the right path. She looked at her diet. She looked at other allergens. She's searching. Her intuition led her to call us and to ask, what else do I need to look at? And we found it.
Wow, thank you for a great conversation and a great show. One last thing. What's your personal message? And please tell us the website again and how people can register to work with you in the workshop.
The website is BODYWISEBODYWORK.com. Feel free to fill out the form and let me know that you'd like to speak with me. And we can speak over the phone. We can do a consultation over Skype. Or if you're in the greater Seattle area, you can come and see me in person.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dawn. We're going to take a short break, everyone. We've got another hour of the Dr. Pat Show, Transformation Talk Radio, coming up right next. We'll see you in a few minutes.